All right, welcome everybody back to another Photoshop video. This one I decided to record so that we can kind of go through a lot more different tools and try to simplify it a bit too, so it's a little bit easier to follow along than the others. So we'll start off first by loading up the two pictures, picture of me and this picture of a busy beach. And we'll try to run through a good number of tools as well with this tutorial. All right, so let's start with what might be a little bit of review. So if we zoom in, you can hit Control Plus. For different photos, you can fix some blemishes. So I might not have too many blemishes right now here, but this might come in handy for other photography. And what you want to do, so hit J. We'll focus on these two here, the spot healing brush and the healing brush tool. First, spot healing. And what that does, so remember you can use the square brackets to make it bigger or smaller. We can just, let's say around the forehead, click and wiggle it. And we can just go around and kind of smoothing out the skin a bit. Make it a bit smaller. Just click and wiggle. Just little spots. Yeah, I wouldn't do big, not big strokes. Right, it's better just to focus and wiggle on very small parts. Okay. That's the spot healing. Another thing you can do is the healing brush tool. This one's a little bit different because you actually need to take pixels from one part of the picture and put them on a different part. So for example, say on this cheek here, I want to take pixels from that. What you do is hold the mouse over that part of the picture, hold down Alt, and then left click. And if you notice in my cursor here now, I have that same color of pixel. And from there, then you can paint it, paint that a little bit over there. You wouldn't want to put this color onto, say, where the shadow is, because then it'll look really out of place. I actually didn't really do much of anything there. For this darker part, I would take some pixels from there. So let's say from here. And now you can kind of just paint that in. But like we said before, luckily there's not too many blemishes on this picture of me right now. So we can leave that part. All right, next are some layers. This part is a bit of a review. So remember, it's this button here, second from the right. And I'm going to create one layer. Let's use the brush tool. And let's just put some colors onto this. Put some yellow. Actually, just put some orange. Very good. So from there, we'll just do a little bit of squiggly lines. There's an orange. Let's do a new layer. And let's pick some whites. There we go. So some white, and we'll have that go the other way. Oops, let's that. Actually, white's not showing up too well. Let's put some gray. There we go. Some orange and gray just going the other way. Okay. This is just a bit of review. So remember, whichever layer is on top, that's the one you'll see first. Okay, so that's set for that. We'll leave this picture of me for now. And let's go to this beach and zoom in a bit. Two things we're going to do with this picture is we're going to remove objects, and we're also going to move them. So remove and move. Okay, let's do the removal first. What you're going to want to do, so click on this lasso tool, and shortcut for that is clicking L. And let's focus on this bottom part here. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to remove this garbage can. So let's click, hold, surround. Now we've got that area selected. Go to edit, fill, content aware selected, press OK, and it's gone. Just like that. To unselect, you can click select and deselect, or click on Control D. All right, let's do that for one more thing. Let's remove this guy over here. So surround him, lasso tool, edit, fill, content aware selected, press OK, and he's gone, just like that. Sometimes it leaves a little bit of a trace there, and from there you can once again go back to your spot healing or healing tool and just fix that up there. Perfect. Okay, so now say for example we want to move somebody else into that space that we've created. So we're going to use a different tool. It's actually part of this family with the spot healing brush tool. So if you right click it, select content aware move tool, and from there we're gonna same thing, surround, click and surround the object we want to move, and this time we're just going to pull and drag him, and there he is. Deselect, just like that. One thing to note, so you want to try to make sure that the area is similar. Reason being, I'll show you here. Say we wanted to move them into the ocean. So it doesn't work as well because there's still a bunch of sand that's part of this selection. So unless you really zoomed in and got really close to it, that wouldn't work as well. So there are some limitations to this. Great. Okay, that's set. Let's see what we have next. So we've moved. Now we're going to try and change backgrounds. So I want to take this picture of me, and we're going to move that into the busy beach. Okay, so first I'm going to put myself, actually, yeah, we'll do that for now. Okay, good. So what we're going to use is the quick select tool. So you can hit Q. Oh, oops, not Q. Q is the other one. We're going to hit W. Quick select tool is selected. You have different options here. Let's just stick with the default one for now. And from here, we're just going to click and hold and just surround myself. Be careful, don't do it too fast. Right, or so select the whole picture like that. If it does happen though, don't worry, you can click the minus sign and subtract from the selection. Okay, might have to play around with it a little bit. And you can spend a lot of time trying to get the edges good if we zoom in. 1 second. All right, so here we are. It's not perfect right now. And that's okay. We can spend lots of time, maybe hours getting these edges right, but just try to get the best you can. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hit refine edge. And from here, let's see, overlay. Yep, good. So you can hit smart radius, adjust it a bit, and then you can paint over, try to include some of that in as well. Okay, so this part here might be a little bit tricky, so you might need to ask for some help in class. But if you hit Q, you can kind of see where some of the edges aren't exactly professionally done. What we can do from here, so first let's select add and do the Q, hit refine edge. Then we go to smart radius. You can set that maybe to about 2.7. Too much, 2.6. And then from there, we can actually start painting. And it's smart enough, it starts correcting some of these edges here. Maybe along the arms, can resize the brush. Just like that. So, like I said, right, we can spend hours trying to get this right. Right now, we're just trying to get the practice, get used to the tool here. Okay, so you can see it's a lot better along the edges now. Let's just get a little bit of that. Good, yeah, so we'll leave it like that for now. Okay, from here, we can start putting on a layer mask. Press OK. Put a layer mask on. And there we go. It's taken out some of the background there. All right. You saw these layers here. Let's see. Okay, let's keep the orange one there. And we're going to delete the gray one. Good. And now we're going to take these and we're going to place them to the other side. So what we're going to do, and you might remember this already from the last one. So pull down this picture tab and then now drag over some of these layers. There we go. And back to the beach one. Okay, so you can see there's a pretty big size difference from here. So in order to resize, let's zoom out a bit. Or resize, hit Control T. And from there, we can resize the image. Let's do Control T on that second layer with the orange background as well. And actually enter to apply it. Let's resize myself some more. Enter. All right. So there we go. We have myself and another layer onto this busy beach background. All right, so from here, there's a few things we can do. Let's get into some text. So I'm going to play some text. Here we go. One thing you can do, so if you change, oops, let me get rid of this text layer first. I'll get rid of that first. All right, so you can switch your mode here between photography, more adjustments, and typography is better for text. All right, so let's put some text on here. So hit T, drag, and we can call this Summer Fun. All right, we're back. So just to get that text layer back, so click on this T and drag it. Depends how yours works. I'm gonna just type in Summer Fun. Depending on how yours works, oh, let me just change up my color to kind of a greenish blue. Okay, so depending on yours, how it works, the text might already be showing up. If it's not, you can use this move tool. And we'll put that into place. Some other things. Let me fix that Summer Fun. You can change up the size of the font as well. So let's try too big. Yeah, this part you can play around with as well. Yeah, okay, good. One important note too. So if you're clicking the move tool, you won't be able to edit the text until you double click on the T again. Then you can fix that part. All right. Some effects that we can do to this. So if you right click the text layer, one sec. So if you right click the text layer and let's go to edit layer. Text options. All right, there it is. So click on, right click the text layer, blending options. And from here, so we have a lot of different effects we can add to the text. One of my favorites here, so click on stroke. You already see a little bit of stroke around it, and you can increase the size. You can change the color of the stroke. It's yellow. I think I'll keep mine as black though. Good. All right, and then also while we're selected on this Summer Fun layer, you can lower the opacity as well. Just like that. Okay. And there you have it. We pretty much covered all we needed to. You can always add adjustment layers to this as well. But this is pretty much where we want it to be right now. Moving forward, we'll probably look into fixing up lighting, things like that from photography. But as it stands right now, we have a pretty good base of where we want it to be with Photoshop. Okay, so as usual, review as well. To save this as a Photoshop file, you'll click File, Save As, and we can call this Chong Beach. All right, and the Photoshop file will give you access to all of the layers. However, if you're at the finished product, you can save this as, one sec, frozen. There we go. If you're at the finished product and you want to turn this into a JPEG or a PNG, hit File, Export. Actually, we don't even need to do that. File, Save As, and from here you can select the format, JPEG or PNG, and that'll be the finished picture, right? No layers, but the finished picture, all the layers combined. All right, thanks for listening. As usual, pause, repeat as needed, ask for help in class, and good luck with Photoshop.